What is going on, Cubs fam? We are back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video, and it has been way too long since I brought the former Darth Mullet on the channel, the legendary It's Just Ian. What's going on, Ian?
Whoa, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Every time I bring you on the channel, I still mourn the mullet, man. I'm mourning the mullet.
It's just a sad thing, man. It really was. It was a hard time in my life. It really was, to cut that thing and then move along with my life and knowing that it's not there anymore. I mean,
it's like you lost
like
a
piece
dear
of me
friend.
was. Yes, it's so tragic. It really was.
I feel that way. I feel that way, and it's not mine. You know, I feel like
living through me.
There's a space on my screen here that's empty. There should be hair there.
Can we just edit one in, just always have one in my videos?
No, here's what you need to have the Dr. Disrespect hair going on.
Dude,
that's what you need to do. Get yourself a wig.
That's the play right there, man. That's it. That's awesome. I love that dude so much. I love the dog.
He's hilarious. I love him too. So, all right, here we go. We got to talk about these Galactic Legends.
Yes.
Who is the best investment for free-to-play players? And Ian and we had a really good discussion about this off camera, and now we're going to do it on camera. But we were thinking about this because if you're a free-to-play player in this game, going after a Galactic Legend is a massive time commitment. So massive, in fact, that a lot of players just decide, I'm just not going to go for this. But for those who do decide that they are going to go for it, you want to be sure, you're going to want to be sure that who you pick is going to be worth the investment along the way. Wouldn't you agree, Ian?
Oh, yes, definitely. You gotta just kind of plan it out. And I mean, now we're gonna go talk about it, but now with these new GLs, there's a lot to consider, a lot. So I'm glad we're talking about this. Honestly, this is a nice discussion.
I think it is too. And here's something that I also want to carve out in this video that we realized during the course of our discussion is not all free-to-play players can consider this, I think, equally. And so we're going to split you guys into two camps here. You got very long time, more endgame free-to-play players. These are players who have been playing 4 or 5 years, who've been there for almost all of the legendary characters. You've got most of those or all of those legendary characters already in your arsenal. We'll talk about them first. And then we're going to talk about you newer free-to-play players out there, because a lot of you guys that are newer to this game, you have a lot less characters, and that's going to heavily influence, in our opinion, which Galactic Legend you should go for first. So
definitely.
Let's talk about the first one. So Ian, tell me what your take is, and I think we're on the same page with this. For the longer term free-to-play players, 4 or 5 years, they got most of the legendaries, who's going to be the best investment?
That one for me is very easy. I'd say definitely Mr. Luke. Because a lot of these ones are just ones you get just from playing. I mean, 4 or 5 years. I mean, gosh, you're going to be having a CLS. Oh, we don't know that. Gosh, not CLS.
Well, CLS is probably going to be in the next round. Which, by the way, quick disclaimer: we don't have the last round of requirements, so it could change a little bit from there. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, that would make a lot of sense to me. All the Lukes, just put it to one. But Han and Chewie, everybody needs those guys. Those are needed for a lot of different things in the game. You get Chewie from the Bounty Hunters. You need Old Ben. He was from the, I think, Look Event 2, the CLS. 3PO is needed a lot of different spots. Gas, off the top of my head, Gas, and this new JKL, Mr. Jedi Luke. And then, R2, all these droids, man, they're all over the place with being needed. But JKL is a big one here. I guess just quickly, Rey, she's needed for the other, of course, GL Rey.
Right.
But I would say the biggest one here out of the requirements so far, out of the 10, is JKL. And with him, there's some heavy duty things here. And if we're talking about those players that are 4 to 5 years playing, you're going to have a lot of those ones worked on. The ones I would say that you probably wouldn't have worked on for the most part would be probably the Rolo and Mr. Captain Han Solo. And those ones are a bit harder to gear. You can get them from, I think, isn't he from Cantina, but then Rolo's from that Get Currency store. So she's a bit tougher. Same with Hermit Yoda and Wampa. But everything else besides that, I think, is pretty easy for the most part. And there's a lot of good tunes in that. And I would say, you know, going, if you're a 4 to 5 year player, a little bit of a veteran, I think that's probably the best way to go, as well as getting Vader unlocked as well. I mean, he's a huge help right now. He's been countering metas for the last, I don't even know how long, like ever since it's been reworked the last few months. There's a lot of good stuff there. The only ones I would say is kind of bad are Rolo and Cholo, but getting Luke is a huge investment, and he's going to be doing a lot of different things for you. So having him add into the mix with the new Luke, I mean, it's pretty huge. The whole requirements, I mean, on my screen, I'm not sure what yours is looking like right now, but for me, the only ones I'm missing or haven't been at those requirements just yet is the new Y-Wing. I'm only at 5-star, close to 6-star for the requirements, but also the new marquees for Mon Mothma and Chewpio, and those ones are also excellent tunes. I mean, everything here is super top tier characters. Like nothing here is like below average or even average at all. These guys are amazing. So I mean, just looking at them at the moment, we don't know all the rest of the requirements, all the rest of the 5, but at the moment, knowing what they have and talking about 4 to 5 year players, this is definitely the one to go for, in my opinion, over the Palpatine for sure.
Yep. Okay. Excellent. And over all of them, even, I would say for now, I mean, if you're just starting on the path right now and you've been playing for a long time, or maybe you've just got one, you're just trying to decide which one to go for next. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would scoff at saying a free-to-play player should go for this. But here's something to keep in mind. For the long-term veteran free-to-play players, Rolo is not somebody you even needed to farm from Get Currency. She's somebody that you got doing the original Hoth territory battle.
Is that right?
Okay. You would have had her. Yeah, so you haven't even been playing long enough.
Dude, I don't know. I've been playing since 2015. I forget so much of these ones.
Forgot? Okay. I was gonna say, I thought you were an old-time player. Yeah. So before they gave us Geonosis territory battles, you would have got it from there. A lot of people farmed Captain Han for those missions. Lando is an old-time meta character. A lot of people would have, if you were free to play, he was a great free-to-play leader way back in the day. But likely you have him farmed. Hoda and Wampa, very reasonable to have for free-to-play players who've been playing for a long time. Of course, CLS, Chewie, and then Vader, of course. And then looking back at the GL Luke requirements specifically after Galactic Legend Luke, all of these legendaries you already have if you're a long-time free-to-play player. You're going to have your Chewbacca. You're going to have your C-3PO. You're going to have your Han. He's not legendary. He's Rey. You're going to have R2. You're going to have JTR. It's almost just going to be a matter of gear and stars for Chewpio and for Mon Mothma. Now, and probably the Rebel fighter as well, which is where I'm at also with the Rebel Y-Wing. So I think we both agree on Luke. Let us know if you guys disagree, if you have any different takes. But let's talk about if you are a free-to-play player who is newer to the game. Now, we kind of have a different opinion on this. So we're going to debate this a little bit. But Ian, I'll let you go first. Who do you think is the best option? New free-to-play players, so you don't have all these legendary characters. You've only been playing for a couple years, maybe.
Okay. A couple years. All right. So here's my take on it. The biggest thing is that we don't know the full requirements for Mr. Palpatine.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I'm going to be saying Kylo still. The only reason is just because we don't know the requirements for the rest of Palp, because there's 5 more. There could be some ships added. There could be some other ones. The thing I would say here is that if the requirements for the next 5 include any more Imperial troopers, then I would probably go for Palpatine over Kylo. But at the moment, without knowing those 5, I would say go for Kylo still, because we already have a lot of knowns at the moment. And it's just like the part of this whole video. It's just the bad timing of it all, honestly. But just like with the current stuff we have, knowing that Kylo can do some amazing things, the requirements for him aren't that crazy, in my opinion, for the characters. Like, not a lot of like legendary-esque characters. Not what is this? I'm just looking at none at all. None of them are legendaries at all. All
no
just
legendaries.
Like and just like himself, Kylo can do so many things for you in the game. He can solo raids, he can solo teams, solo monster, everything like that. He's crazy awesome. So at the moment, I would still say him over, if you're a little bit newer of a player, 2 years, I guess we're talking about right now. Go for Kylo. You're going to have a lot of great stuff, progressing towards him for the requirements. And yeah, I mean, but that's like the thing here. For those players, I wouldn't go, do it right now and just blow your whole load on these guys. Wait for the requirements for the other ones just to make sure you want to know which one you're going for and which one's going to be the best for you. So,
yep. Absolutely. So I agree with your logic too. No legendary characters in here. You're just farming the characters straight. Yeah. And a lot of these first order characters are very accessible in early nodes. I mean, Kylo Ren Unmasked especially, one of the best nodes in the game. You can farm his ship at the same time. I'm going to disagree though, Ian. I feel like Palpatine is maybe the better investment, and the reason why is going to be rooted in the characters that you farm along the way. Having a Relic Vader, for example, up there is extremely beneficial for free-to-play players. There is so much counter potential in this guy that comes along with it. Again, it is gonna, I would wait for the next round of requirements before you go balls to the wall on this, but Palpatine, he is a legendary character, but all of you new free-to-play players, you're gonna have Palpatine. It's one of the first legendaries you're gonna get. You just need Rebels to do it. There is some concerns with the quality of some of the characters, but they're still easy to get. I don't find Maul and Sidious hard to get at all. I believe Sidious is in one of the stores, right? It's been so long since I farmed him. Dooku is gonna have some pretty great application in the game. Royal Guard is just okay. Krennic just okay. And really the only one that you're really it's gonna take you a while to farm is gonna be Piet, but even he will be farmable soon. So to me, no legendaries other than Palpatine, and you get one of the best free-to-play characters possible out of this gig in Darth Vader. But you get more valuable characters from Kylo, so I think I could see a trade-off there.
Yes. The one thing I want to point out here is between the two for Palpatine and also Kylo, I'm pretty sure the gear requirements are pretty hefty for the First Order. And looking at these ones for Palpatine so far, these are very old school characters. Like we're talking Marauder's pretty old, Maul is, Krennic, Sidious, and Royal Guard. Those guys, I think Royal Guard might have some crazy gear, but everybody else is probably not that bad. And from what I remember, at least, they're not bad at all. So far, they seem to be pretty good. That's a nice thing about all these ones is that they're not newer ones, so none of the Kylos need to be besides, of course, getting into Gear 13. So that's like pretty huge thing to consider. And also, we didn't have you mention this is the fleets. The fleets are a pretty huge thing here. So like with Emperor Palpatine, or not really Emperor Palpatine, Sith Eternal. I always get mixed up. He has a crazy TIE Advance or TIE Bomber, rather, not TIE Advance, and that ship is so good. I mean,
it's really good.
There's been some big fleet things here tying in the whole thing, and I would say at the moment, Empire's fleet is probably a bit better than First Order because there's just a lot more durability. Comfortably, yes. With relics on those, I've seen KP67, his videos. I mean, that just stomps it all out. I know though that First Order can't get the job done versus Negotiator, but I would rather use a fully relic Empire fleet over the First Order.
The amount of excitement you just showed me about ships is kind of disturbing.
Dude, I like ships, man. I like it.
This guy.
Hey, if I don't have to farm a pilot and I just have to farm a ship itself, hey, I'm cool.
My opinion towards ships is changing dramatically because of that. They seem to have gone away from having pilots in ships, and I'm down. I'm down.
It's amazing.
All right, so the TLDR is if you are a old-time veteran free-to-play player, GL Luke is looking pretty spicy for you guys. It's going to take a while, but it's a great investment. Kylo might be the best option for you newer free-to-play players, or maybe Palpatine, depending on what that last round of requirements are. And we gave no love to Potato Ray here. No love at all, did we?
I mean, at the moment, there's so many counters to already, and you're going to be having to work on Rose Tico and Holdo. No, that's yucky. And the fleet there, gross. Not good at all. Don't even bother.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Unless you got a major hard-on for Ray, then I guess you can. But otherwise, don't. Just don't, man. Just don't, please.
You know, maybe Daisy Ridley, but come on, man. Like this Ray?
Forehead, dude.
This
Look at that
Ray?
forehead, dude. Dude, that's so hot. Come on. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot right there.
Rework. Not Ray's kit, but her appearance. That looks nothing like her.
Hey, I think it's kind of hot, man. TVH, come on,
dude,
come
look
on.
at those eyebrows, man.
They're on fleek, dude. Look at those. They're so sexy. Hey, not as bad as JTR. Come on.
I think it's worse than JTR. I'm gonna be honest.
No, dude,
okay,
no.
vote in the comments below. Whose appearance is worse in the game, JTR or
Galactic
Legend Ray? So, all right, we're gonna do another video over on Ian's channel sometime soon. Everyone harass him about this. He wants to go to sleep right now, so we'll do it later.
I'm tired.
He's been hanging out with too many girls, so we're gonna get out of here. But Ian.
Yeah. What?
Thanks for joining me for the video, man. I think
I got you.
Do I see? I think you just blushed a little bit.
I did, dude. You're not supposed. That's proprietary information, dude.
I didn't say who. I said girls, like, you know, maybe your mom and your sister.
Definitely my sister and my mom. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went to go get some McDonald's. That was a lot of fun tonight. Oh yeah. Some nuggies. Oh my god.
All right, let's get out of here before Ian blushes himself out of the video. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for joining.
See you guys. Peace. Oh, that's fun.